Hey y'all, welcome to Life on Goldman Road. Y'all know it has been cold here and we've got a weekend coming of freezing temperatures, or it's a hard freeze with big frost or whatever. I don't think we're going to get any frozen precipitation, but it's going to be cold. We get chickens next week, the end of next week, Thursday and Friday. So there's a lot going on. So today I'm going to make a big stew. We went to a grocery store in Macon, Mississippi. Shout out to Tim's Food Mart. We are not sponsored, but they had some really great deals going on. So we ran over there and they had smoked Boston butts. Now Clarence usually does his own and we do the stew, but in all honesty, we could not buy a raw Boston butt and do it ourselves cheaper than we could buy it. Already smoked, already cooked, warm from the smoker. So we got it for just a fraction of the cost. It blows my mind that they smoked that, but then you go over to the shelf and it was $2.19 a pound. I think it was crazy. Pork is expensive, but anyway, I shredded it up. So we have a bowl of pulled pork, so nice, and I have my big Dutch oven. Is that gonna be enough? No, I don't think so. But I have two big crock pots, so we may have to third it. Now this is a recipe that I do by look. And pretty much I'm going to cheat today. I'm not going to cook anything prior. Usually I have to cook my onions, potatoes, and carrots and all of that stuff. And then we have to smoke the Boston butt. Not today. Not today. I have frozen veggies in the freezer. The Boston butt is already done for us. I have a can of diced potatoes that we will put in. I have some canned tomatoes that we did over the summer that I'm going to put in. Season it, and it's going to be pretty much ready made. So this is going to be a quick and easy stew. Usually stews take so long, but this one is going to be really easy. I have really debated on what to put in, how much to put in each container. So that's going to be kind of the tricky part, but I am going to show you what I add and how much I add. But as far as a recipe, there's not really going to be one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some frozen stuff. So I have a big bag of frozen veggies. Sorry, Clarence is going to the firehouse and the dogs started cutting up. So, diced onions. Today is all about convenience. We are going to put this together fast. Now, I'm not going to dump everything in here at once. And probably my potatoes will be the last thing I put in. I'm going to reposition you so you can see what I'm putting in as we go. I will probably use this whole bag of onions, and I have an extra bag just in case it gets bigger than I think it is. But anyway, let me show you what I'm doing. All right, I have a big old Dutch oven here that we're going to start off with. And I'm just going to go ahead and open this bag of onions because I know I'm going to use all of it. Already diced, no tears, absolutely fabulous. And I know I'm going to use this whole bag of mixed vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead and dump it in. And it's going to fill up my pot. Alright. So, let's see. Now this is just a mixed bag of green beans, carrots, and corn and sweet peas. We do have some sweet peas in there. All right, so this is all gonna start sticking together pretty fast. And while I did this, I need to know how much I need to put into a crock pot. So let me get this stirred together, and I'm going to get a crock pot moved over here. That way I'm going to take about half of this, put into the crock pot, then we can put in our meat, and we'll start with our tomatoes. And like I said, the last thing I want to add is our potatoes, because I want this liquid enough that when I stir, I'm not going to break my potatoes apart. So let me get my crock pot and get this divided out. All right, I have it divided out between my Dutch oven and my crock pot here. And I think there's going to be enough onion. We'll see kind of when we get it liquidy. So I've got about half of it in here. Grayson's here with me. Let me show you. There he is. All right. So now that I have this in here, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some meat. Now, this is kind of hunky meat. It's going to break down. The more I stir, the more, you know, it's going to come apart. So I'm not really worried about it unless I run across a great big hunk, and then we might reevaluate. But right now, we're going to add some meat to this. I'm hoping I can use it all. That's pretty good. Let me add some here to my. Oh yeah. All right. I think we're going to be just fine for using. Now there's a pretty big piece there, so I'm going to take the time to shred that. Perfect. All right, I'm going to shred this, and then we will start adding some tomatoes. I have 4 jars of crushed tomatoes that I did over the summer, and I'm going to add 2 to each one. And I'm probably going to have to add some more juice, so don't think this is it. This is just getting our base going. Now, I also have not seasoned anything. These tomatoes are, for some reason, kind of salty. I don't know if I missed when I made them. I did the wrong amount or what, but anyway, they're salty. So I'm going to add some water with the jars into here and into our crock pot. So let's add a quart of water and see where that takes us. I need everything to swim. Does that make sense? My water is very slow today because the cows are drinking. They're getting their fill of water. So my inside water is a little sluggish today, but that's okay. So we're going to get this crock pot with some water in it too. We're going to mix this around and see if we need anything else before we add in our potatoes. That looks pretty good right there. Now, there is no heat. I have not turned any of this on. So right now we are just dealing with cold stuff. Yes. So I think I want to go ahead and open our can of potatoes and add that to this, and then we will taste it for seasoning. We need to add some pepper, maybe a little salt, whatever else floats your boat, maybe some red pepper. I won't add much because probably my mom will want some of this. So let me open the potatoes. Y'all, today we bought this big old can of potatoes. I don't know why tomatoes is on my brain. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know that we're going to use all of these, and I keep saying that because literally I'm not going by my usual recipe. My usual recipe for this fills up 3 huge of the black cast iron wash tubs, and that's the best way I can describe them. It's a big old cast iron pot. Okay, so we have, can y'all see? We have diced tomatoes in this. So what I'm going to do is take my slotted spoon. You know what? First I'm going to drain these because I think I can pour half into here and half into my crock pot. All right, now I probably didn't drain it all the way, but I drained it enough that I can get a little more. All right, I'm going to add the rest to our crock pot. Woo! Perfect. My garbage is overflowing. Now, I did see one that wasn't good as I poured it in. So I'm going to get that one out. And I thought I saw one in this pot, but maybe I didn't. Nope. Okay. So let's stir. Now, essentially, everything in here is done. I may add that other bag of onions because I'm not really seeing any onions. And then what we're going to do is heat. Well, usually what we do, not in the big wash tubs that are wash pots that we use with this. Usually we make it hot all the way. This, we're going to freeze most of this. So, we usually turn it out into like Clarence's big turkey fryer pot. That way we get a good mix on everything. I don't know that we're going to do that because it's actually pretty even right now. So, I think I'm going to let that be. Let me grab that other bag of onions though. All right. Get these open. All right. And that is it. I'm going to get these mixed around. We're going to taste for seasoning. And then we will be good to go. I just tasted it and I'm not going to add any more salt to it. The tomatoes did it perfect. If anybody wants any more salt, they can add it as we eat. I am going to add some pepper. Let me see here. We need to add some pepper. There. All right. Now, the beauty about this is I can go ahead and put one or the other or some of both into the freezer. I'll probably bag this up into probably gallon bags. And I don't even have to heat this. Now, when we go to cook it, we're probably going to, you put it in the crock pot and let it simmer all day. Or you put it on the stove and let it go for a few hours. So those onions will get tender. This is the easiest stew I've ever done. Because everything was done. And all I had to do was open cans or bags or whatever and shred the meat. This is why I canned tomatoes this past summer. So this is turned out perfect. Now Clarence will be home soon, so probably what we'll do is bag this up. Depending on, we may have some of this for supper. I'm going to call Mom and Hillary and see if they want some for supper. That way, you know, we can get this either onto cooking or in the freezer. But either way, it's done. Now, I will get several bags of freezer meals essentially out of this. This is a meal in itself, and the wintertime is when we love this. So, probably gallon bags. That's usually what we do. That way we can eat on it for a couple of days. This weekend, as I said, it's going to be really, really cold. So I know I'm going to leave some out. I'm not going to put everything into gallon bags. But we are going to eat on this over the weekend. I have some beef tips in the refrigerator that really need to be cooked. So I'll probably do that tonight. But I may have some stew on the side. Anyway, I'm going to get this bagged up as soon as Clarence gets home and can help me. This is going to go in the freezer. We will be set for the rest of the winter, and as Mom and Hillary will as well. So that will be wonderful. Thank you so much for coming along, hanging out, watching the videos, liking and subscribing. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So until next time, I'll see you later. Stay warm.